Good morning, everybody, and a very big welcome to everyone on this fabulous Monday morning. It's St. Patrick's Day week, so I'm going to start celebrating today, I think. So I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Yvonne Reddin. She's a content writer, and we were having a chat the other day, and we just thought, you know what, let's do a LinkedIn Live and share with people how important it is to engage properly with your content, from your website to your blog posts. So we're going to touch base on everything. If you have any questions for us, drop it in the post. But let's get Yvonne on the call. Miss Reddin, how are you?
How are you, Wendy? And lovely to be here on your LinkedIn Live. I think it's my first one.
It is. I'm excited. So Yvonne, thanks so much. Tell us a little bit about your background, first of all, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. So I have a journalism degree, and I've also got a postgrad, an MA in learning and teaching for further education, for adult education. So I was teaching provisionally in DFEI in Dunleary as a journalism teacher. I mean, that covers loads. You know, I'm a real stickler for grammar. If I see a word or there's a typo, I'm on it like a light. It drives me insane. But before the pandemic, I was teaching creative writing classes in my local community centre. And then the pandemic hit, and sure, look, this is the way it is now. It's virtual now.
I know, but look, I mean, like from the beginning of the pandemic, this time last year, Yvonne, when YvonneReddin.com came about. Tell us a bit about that journey for you.
That is a huge journey. That's a huge journey. I just started my business last year, Wendy. It's always been there in my head that I wanted to be a content writer, freelance writer. I've always been writing stuff and doodling and journaling. But last year I just took I just went, let's give it a go. So I understand the power of social media and connecting, all that. So it's really been a big learning curve the last year for me, finding out where I need to be, the platforms, how to write for all them different platforms, because that's really important.
Yeah, 100%. I think, and that's what we're going to talk about this morning.
Yeah.
The power of content, good content.
Yeah.
Because like that, there's been a lot of trading online vouchers distributed, and there's a lot of websites out there that are kind of just up there just for the sake of the voucher and the visually they're brilliant. But I can see myself, the content isn't reaching your potential customer correctly. So, I suppose you have helped a couple of people with their websites. Where would you start? So they connect.
I know, yeah. And I suppose, if you look at a website and it looks fantastic, then you go in and read it and it's like, it kind of puts you off from reading more, doesn't it? So this is where a content writer will come in. And I suppose the content writer has to research the website and the business owner and see what their voice is as well. And I'll tell you a little tip that in journalism, when you're learning journalism, you've got to write news articles and you've got to bring in the 5 W's. And that's the what, why, where, when, and who. And we had to write a sentence, a one sentence paragraph for a news story using those 5 W's. It was so tough, but really good and challenging. So sometimes you don't need to write a lot of content, but it can be just that one sentence that can stand out. So the 5 W's, you can use that in your posts. You can use that in your articles. Why is your article important? Who is your audience? Where do you want this to go? What are you selling? It's all that combined is just a good tip to think about when writing your article. You need to have a beginning, middle, and end, even in an article or a post.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm finding as well on, say, the likes of LinkedIn, this platform, that there's a lot of writing within the post, but they're not getting to the point quick enough for me. I'm gone.
And I do that as well, Wendy. I do that as well. And I find that really difficult to write a post, a social media post, because I just want to write loads. And that's just because I write and I'm a writer. It's so difficult to stop that, but you have to. If you want to write a big article, write an article on LinkedIn and put it in the article section, or a blog post. Don't do it in a post.
Don't do
I
it in the
know.
post.
No, I know.
Anybody takes anything from this today,
Yeah.
that would be definitely my advice.
I've done it. I've done it as well, and I had to go stop, Yvonne. And if you don't hook your reader from the first sentence or the first paragraph, they're gone.
I know.
So
I know.
it's very important. It's really hard for a writer to do that, Wendy, to write social media posts. It really is.
Yeah. And well, what's really good though about what you do, Yvonne, is like I've seen you write an article and then break it up into smaller sections for social media, which is great because you're getting loads of content then.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you can write an article on, say, business expertise and your tips for finance or saving or whatever it may be. So if you write a really long article, say 500 to 1,000 words, that's 2 pages. You can break that up and take out pieces of that and make it into social media posts for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for Facebook, wherever you may be. And you can use that. There's your post for 2 or 3 weeks done. Do you know what I mean? And I think the power, and then have your article up on LinkedIn in the article section as well.
Yeah.
So you can just cut that out and use that as individual posts. It's brilliant. Yeah. The one thing I find though about LinkedIn writing posts, you can't write a headline. I love a good headline. And that drives me insane. I'm always thinking of catchy, and I love seeing a good headline in a newspaper or, in a magazine or something. It's brilliant. You can't do that in posts. Yeah, I miss that little bit. Yeah.
On LinkedIn, the way at the top, it only actually shows you the first 2 lines on a page before you have to click see more. So if you don't grab that person's attention, as you say, it's like a headline. If you don't grab the person's attention then and there, they won't hit the see more.
Them in.
Scroll on, so that's why it's so important.
But when you're writing the shorter content, you have to be very clear and concise and catchy. All that. You know what, Wendy? Like, I'm not fantastic at telling a story, but I'm okay at writing a story. Some people are great at talking, like yourself. And so, I don't particularly like public speaking and all that, but I love writing. So that's a big difference. If you can be brilliant at telling a story, but you can't write it, you can't get the words down on paper. It's mad.
That's why we work so well together, and why it's in 2020 and 2021 that we've collaborated, because for example, just to tell our audience a bit about what we did. For example, I was asked by High Style magazine to do questions for Women's International Day. Now for me that's like I'm so bad at writing about myself.
Yeah.
I hate writing about myself. I just, it's, I don't know whether it's an Irish thing or whatever. I just don't, doesn't fit comfortably with me. So what I did, guys, was I wrote up roughly what I wanted to say, sent it to Yvonne, and Yvonne applied the fairy dust. And it was absolutely brilliant. Came back to me, sent it off to the editor, and we posted it out all across my social media. I think I reached over 11,000 people.
Wow. Did you? That's brilliant. Yeah.
So that's how important it is. We're going to say hello to a few people. Just while we're here, Alan is here. Hi, Alan.
Hello, Alan Hennessy.
Paula is here. Hi, Paula Moyle.
Hi, Paula.
Yeah, thanks, Paula, for joining us. Paula's the great lady. We met Paula at the Virtual Business Owners Network that we have every Friday. So welcome, Paula. Thanks for joining us. Alan, we're powerful, all right, Al.
You better believe it, Alan Hennessy.
And he's been very good to share your website.
Look, he's brilliant. He's on the ball. He's great.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so the other areas that we can cover when in relation to content, Yvonne. So Alan's talking about the power of the written word. Exactly, it is extremely powerful, because a lot of people as well, they're scrolling now and their volume is off because they might be, say, their other half is watching telly in the same room. So if you haven't got the written word and it's just a video, although video is very powerful too, you need to cover both. I definitely agree. You need to cover both. Something that you did recently, Yvonne, for a client was transcribing their from a recording, was it?
Yeah,
How did that work?
as videos. So people send
Okay.
me videos, and then I have to transcribe it into an actual written interview. And I actually did that for one of the TLCs that I did last year, the Talk Line Connect interviews. Rachel Gotto's interview, that was
Oh,
all done
brilliant.
from a video she sent me. So I wrote that. So you've got to take out all the bits that you don't need and make it into very comprehensible reading. So
Yeah,
I mean, her story was just unbelievable. And
yeah,
I love Rachel Gotto,
yeah,
but so that's something that's difficult. It's time consuming,
yeah,
but if the videos are short, it's good. And another thing as well, like there's so many podcasts as well now, the script writing for podcasts. You've got to have a script, and that's something I've been doing as well, doing a bit of script writing for podcasts too, just to get your intro, your little bit in the middle, beginning, middle, and an end. See, it comes
yeah,
into everything, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
Once you know the basics, just that's it. The 5 W's, absolutely, Alan.
Yeah,
And the beginning, middle, and an end.
yeah,
And I think that's the transcribing videos is a really big one at the
yeah,
moment
yeah.
because
Well,
everyone's doing videos.
yeah, exactly. And like, for example, somebody like me who isn't a fan of writing, but
Yeah,
can definitely talk, like it makes working with a content writer so much easier because
yeah,
I can pick up my phone and open up my WhatsApp, do a little recording about what I want to be in an article or what I want for my website, for my
yeah,
website or my LinkedIn. Like I know you've looked after a couple of people's about us sections on
yeah,
LinkedIn, which is so important to get right as well.
yeah.
So there's so many touch points when it comes to the written word, isn't there?
There is. I mean, even the LinkedIn, your about and your profile piece, right? If people are going to be looking at that, and your LinkedIn is business, so business people are looking for you. If
Yeah,
that doesn't grab them like that with a post, if it doesn't grab them, they're going to just scroll on to the next one. That's really good to have that. You can throw up all your CV stuff on that, but don't. So
yeah,
try and scale it back and just pick out little pieces and just say, if you want more information, contact me and I'll send you my CV. And if they've done that, you've got them. That's your lead.
yeah,
So if they've taken that time to do that, then they're interested in what you do. And
yeah,
then you can then organize your Zoom chat, and there you go. That's how you do it,
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Can we talk a little bit about the elevator pitch?
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, of course.
how would you
Elevate.
help with that?
They're very important, aren't they? And very hard to do. 30
Yeah,
seconds, six, and I hate them because,
I know.
I'd rather write it. But I'll give you an example of a bad elevator pitch and an all right one. And I'll do my
Brilliant.
own. So if I
Okay.
was just to say, because I wouldn't pick anyone out. I'm a freelance writer. Let me help you write your content. That's it, right? That's basic. So
Yeah.
what about saying this? I'm a freelance writer and content creator. If you're struggling to find the right words, let me help you find your voice. Contact me today and let's begin creating your vision through the power of words. Like,
Love.
I think that's a little bit catchier, isn't it?
I love the let me be your voice because that is
Yeah,
what you are. Behind it all,
yeah.
your voice would really resonate with me for sure. Yeah.
You have to, like, I'd have to research people and find out, even with their blog content, and not the blog content, that's more personal. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, people don't get mixed up with blog content and content writing. Your blog is your personal stuff. Your content writing's on your website, that's your business. So I
Yeah.
think keep it business.
Oh
Keep
yeah.
your blog separate and maybe even a separate site completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think blogs have gone off a good bit as well. I think blogs, it's people do it all now on social media. So blogs aren't as big as they used to be years ago. Maybe I'm wrong,
No,
but
I would agree. I would definitely agree. I'm not sure people spend much time reading them nowadays.
yeah,
So I'm just saying, give
yeah,
them a taste of your content
yeah,
and then redirect them to the blog
yes,
post on your website or your LinkedIn article, which totally makes sense.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Give them
yeah.
a taster of what you do, or what you're writing about, and then you can find out more. Yeah.
Alan is loving us today.
And you know what, as well, another thing to think about in creative writing is to use your senses. When especially if you're in the music industry, write a post, try and bring the reader into that. What was it like in the concert? The noise, the feeling of the noise off the ground, the stickiness of the ground. If it's food, what does the food smell like? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And people
yeah,
will be there. And even this morning, I seen a post. I'll just show you. BB Baskin on Twitter. did a tweet just this morning, and her tweet was, "Isn't language just mighty? You can make the ordinary sounds so highfalutin." And her post is an image of breakfast with beans, and this is what it says: "Delicately seasoned pork en croûte served on a bed of haricot beans in a rich sauce and finished with a tomato reduction."
Oh
That's,
my
instead of just
God,
saying beans on toast or whatever, just try and see if you can close your eyes and imagine. It's just using descriptive writing. It
that's
just adds that
amazing.
little bit of flavour to your writing. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine, and being put that
I
post
loved that
this
this morning.
morning.
Yeah, I seen it this morning. Yeah. And it's perfect for what we're talking about today, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, absolutely. It really is. Yeah, so the other thing that I want to touch off with you is the press release. So if somebody
Yeah.
is launching a new product or that, how important is a press release?
Yeah.
Getting that right. And you only
You,
get a certain number of words with most places to say.
Yeah. And I think, look, a lot of people launch it on their websites or on their social media. I mean, that's the way lots of people do it. But you can't beat an old press release,
Yeah,
and that will that's an email piece of writing. So you can, and not everyone's on social media, Wendy, not everyone's on Facebook, not everyone's on Twitter. So you're losing that audience if you don't think of the bigger picture. So
yeah,
emailing will get that press release to a bigger audience. If you have a new product coming out, if you've got an event coming up, a live, a virtual event, if you are launching your new business and you want the right people, a press release will have all that in it, and then you can send that to anybody on your email. So they are still very important and popular, I
yeah,
think, anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so as well, definitely. We have the lovely Pat Lavelle joined us.
Hiya,
Hi,
Pat.
So is it
Yeah.
best not to recite your job history on your LinkedIn profile?
But
So
yeah, I think we said, yeah, you can, of course, you can touch on it. And tell everything. But if people want to know more, just say, look, my CV. If you want it, please email me. I don't think they want to go through, especially if you're 30 years in your business and
yeah,
doing different things. It's a lot to put in. Keep it short, maybe bullet points, and then
yeah,
you can elaborate if they wanted to get in touch with you. Yeah, Pat.
yeah. I think it depends on if you've got a lot. If you've got
Yeah,
like as you say, if you had like 10 different jobs or
yeah.
different companies you worked for, I'm
Mm,
not sure how. Is that a positive? Is it a negative? You just don't know how people would take it. For me, I'd be looking at it and I'd be saying, this person is interesting.
mm.
They like to, I suppose, maybe find things out and then move on to the next challenge or things like that. They're driven.
Yeah.
But then somebody else might look at it and say, God, they move about a lot.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
you,
because my initial career is hairdressing, Wendy. I am a hairdresser, and I did that since I left school at 18, and I was qualified at 21 in Peter Mark, and that was my career for my whole life, and still I kind of touch in and out of it. But writing has always been what I wanted to do. But like, I don't think people would know that I'm a qualified hairdresser. And look, I'd say people would want me now in the lockdown,
I'll be
you
over
know.
to you, Yvonne.
Oh, stuff, and it's so that's, yeah. So you can have such a variety of jobs. But
Yeah,
will I put hairdressing on my LinkedIn? No,
no, I
because it's
know.
not what I need to tell people now, unless I'm writing about hairdressing tips. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
a really good point. Really good
Yeah,
point, Yvonne. Yeah, Alan's saying he loves your tips on writing skills on your Twitter feed. So
yeah.
you
I put them
use
up
Twitter
there.
a bit as well, Yvonne, do you?
Yeah, look, at Twitter's a hard one to grasp, isn't it? I
Yeah,
find that difficult because you can only, I think Alan can correct me on this, is it 240 characters? That's
I think
tough.
so.
That's
Yeah,
really hard to, I find I struggle with that, getting the right amount in that a few characters. So I
yeah.
prefer LinkedIn posts are
I'd say you
longer.
struggle. I'd
I,
say
I
you
do, I
struggle.
do struggle because I want to write more, but
I know.
I've got
Yeah,
around and I'm getting there, and I'm learning. I haven't stopped learning this year. All the free webinars, all the training.
yeah,
And I'm still doing it. I have learned so much
yeah,
about social media and how to write it, write it well, and what each platform is, suitable for. Even an
yeah,
image with a question, they get great reactions, Wendy. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Something else that you do, Yvonne, is proofreading. And like
Yeah.
I can say somebody who maybe like their English might not be very great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like that, proofreading from all different areas that you want
Mm,
someone to just look over it,
yeah.
and double check to
The
see that
grammar.
the
Yeah.
spellings are right, the
Mm.
grammar is correct, and things like that. So that's another service you offer, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the voice. People sometimes write the way they speak, which of course that's good, but if it's going to be an ebook or if it's going to be a book, you have to take out all the jargon, the stuff that we say that we don't use, that we just don't even think about. The proofreading, and that can be, they're long jobs. If it's a book, that can take me a couple of weeks to do, but it's finding that the reader's voice. Ghostwriting is huge, and you wouldn't, I'd say lots of people are doing it. I've done a little bit. You wouldn't know, because the writer has to go and look in, research their client and try and find their voice, which it's really tough mentally as well.
I suppose. Like, I know I say a lot of ums and ahs, and within my, but obviously that's not going to be in my written,
That's it. You take all that out, and that's the beauty of it. You can take all them little things out and have it reading lovely. And as well, like if there's people from different countries and that their English, the broken English is coming across in a piece of content, I can take that off and try and jazz it up a little bit. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And people do need help in that area. For sure. When it comes to proofreading, I think it's very important. It's definitely a service, that needs to be more, widely known, that it's there for people to get that support. Because people might feel a little bit, oh, I don't want anybody going through my stuff, because I know. Like that, you have to outsource your
I think so.
What you're not like there's lots of things that I am not good at, let me tell you. But I recognize it, and I outsource it to the people that are, for example, the writing element to you. So I just wanted to talk a bit about then how we've collaborated this year. And I suppose one of the big things for me since the pandemic is that we're stronger together. And certainly with business owners, that, if there is an opportunity to work together, and I always say, look outside the box. Think of, if someone is selling a house, what industries or what people do they need to work with? So they need solicitors, they need maybe someone to do their BER cert,
photography,
photography, videographer, they need someone maybe to style their house, things like that. So what we did then was, so Yvonne looks after content writing, I do the marketing end and the auditing and looking at the vision for the company. And then we also collaborate with Alan, who does the websites and the social media and the graphics for us. So we kind of, it was great, that collaboration. It's worked really, really well, So I would definitely encourage any business owners that are watching us this morning to think outside the box, as in, who your customers obviously have other people that they go to for various different, I suppose, products or whatever it is. Go to those people and
look at your connections, Wendy. Go in and look at your connections properly. You might have 1,000 connections on LinkedIn. Go in and look at what they do. Do you know? And that's it, basically. If they're your connections, there's some kind of link there. Look around. Don't do everything yourself. And I think this year has been very big for that. You have to outsource. You can't do everything on your own. I am useless at technology, as you well know. It takes me a while to learn something, and Alan has the patience of a saint, and so have you. But and then, I help you, you help me, and it works. It's worked really well this year.
Yeah, it really has. And it's also given me, I suppose, confidence to be able, when people come to me, like people would come for web design or marketing, or, for social media posts and design work or whatever, that I have the confidence to say, absolutely, I'll get one of my team. So now I have a team of people, but we're still self-employed. We still have our own businesses. So it's kind of being able to offer all those things. And also helping our friends, and because obviously you and Alan are my friends now as well as my colleagues, so it's really important to do
partnerships.
Stronger together. That's
Doesn't Michael Keaton say that as well? He says that all the time. Stronger together, and it's true.
100% it is. So Yvonne, we'll leave it at that. I think.
Can I just give you 5 tips? 5 tips for people. Let's just finish with that. 5 tips. My 5 tips for writing a good post or an article or whatever. So know your audience. you have to know your audience. There's no point in me writing for a business audience. I'm not business, but you have to know your audience.
Yeah.
Write short sentences. I see this all the time. 3-line sentences. Break it up.
Yeah.
And you can do a 1-word sentence. You can have 1 word as a sentence. That's fine. Break it up. So add an image. That can add a lot to your piece of writing. Be personal to a degree. Just keep your personal stuff maybe for your blog posts, and write in your own voice. Don't copy and paste, and just write in your own voice. There's 5 tips. Hopefully they'll help. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm adding a little banner here so that
My website. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn and Twitter.
Yeah, LinkedIn and Twitter and that. So if anybody needs anything at all from content,
just contact me. Yeah.
Yeah, give Yvonne a shout, and we'll definitely keep in touch. Even contact myself or Alan if there's anything that we can all help with.
Yeah.
As a team, we'd be delighted to help you. But I suppose today was to focus on the content part of it, and we'll be doing more of these kinds of interviews to try and help people.
If people have anything that they need, maybe that we can help with, Wendy, I mean, they can contact us and we can do some kind of live and maybe show examples or something. There's no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, any topics or anything that you like. Yeah, brilliant. All right, folks, listen, from Yvonne and from myself, have a fabulous week. Oh, I forgot one last thing. Tomorrow is a very special day for Yvonne.
Wendy?
I'm not going to say, but a very, very, very happy birthday to my great friend.
Thank you.
And you're an absolute pet, and I love you loads. So yeah, we're going to celebrate virtually tomorrow. So,
happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, for Wednesday. So, but we'll be doing we'll probably do a couple of videos on Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
With our hats. I have my hat ready.
Oh my God! I'll get mine out. Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Yvonne, thank you.
Thank you.